Sean. Hi, Dave.
Morning.
Dave, I'm going to start with a little bit of a different one, given that the clocks went ahead here overnight. I'm just wondering, if you can touch on how sleep management, rest management, all those types of things maybe has evolved over your time in the NHL.
Well, it's evolved a lot because when I started in the NHL, there was no charters. You played the game. You had to find your own meals. There was no team meals. Emile Francis was our general manager. He used to like taking the first flight out in the morning, which is usually about 7 o'clock. So by the time you get to sleep, it's 3 o'clock, and then you're on a 6 o'clock bus to go to the airport. So now we have these cushy hotels and stay over and a nice charter flight this afternoon. So the players are getting lots of rest, but it's certainly a change. But with the schedule this year, you really you got to maximize the rest when you can get it. You look at our next few weeks here. Lots of games in not a lot of days, so we got to make sure our players get enough rest. You got to give them the chance to be. If you want them to play well, you got to give them the chance to play well, and that's kind of our mindset.
So now that I'll factor that into the practice time, which we knew there'd be a little bit less of this season. Has it hurt anything like where you'd usually like to be about 30 games into the season?
No, I don't think it's hurt. You still manage to, there's you can get practices. Just the time you spend at practice, you got to make sure is efficient. There's times when you got taxi squad guys or extra players need more practice. So there's a little more managing the time the correct ways, but you're always making sure you feel like the players are getting enough, but not overtaxed. And players know their bodies so well now, and they know when they need to kind of handle a puck, and they know when they need a rest. So we're our staff, I think we do a pretty good job with just making sure the players are getting heard and understanding where they're at, and we got to understand that we got to be prepared also. So there's that happy balance. But so far, I think it's been a pretty good mix with our group.
I'll stop for 6:30.
I'm going to combine the two sort of topics with Reed here. Just say, so you've got a compressed schedule, but you do have a taxi squad. Last night you made the one change on the second of a back-to-back. How challenging is it for you to want to change out a roster where maybe you're coming off a win, but also knowing that you've got to keep guys engaged, you got a couple guys now that haven't played for 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
What other day? I know he took a warm up last night. Blue shirt on defense. You got Russell coming off. He's got day to day. Then you also got Zach Adams. So how difficult is that for you to sort of deal with, given that you have an extra roster?
Well, I wouldn't say it's difficult. It's just it is what it is. You got to manage it, and the players have to understand it. You have to make sure that they know exactly where they stand. So, it's funny. The coaches we were talking after the game last night. We went from a week or 10 days ago. We're having one practice because we were missing so many guys through injury and whatever, and now we're back. We're going to start to get healthy again this week, and so you're going to have a lot of extra guys. But that being said, you look at our schedule, and we're going to use a lot of bodies here. You don't go through these games and play as hard as you need to play and not get some bumps and bruises. So I agree with you, Stop. There is some challenges to it, but that being said, it's what it is. You have to work with it, and the players and staff. If you work together, everybody understands what we're trying to do, and that's trying to win, trying to maximize everybody's talent.
Do you at all, and I realize the primary focus is on your team, do you at all alter your lineup if you're playing a more physical team like if you can? I don't even know if you have that wherewithal with your group right now.
Well, you look at your lineup every game and going in, and there's how you feel like your team can win. There's matchups, how there are some tactical things that you look at with your lineup. How the other team plays. What different structure of their game. Who might excel, and different components, and that's no different than any other year. This year, the one difference being this year, you might have a few more options to pick at. But that being said, you still have the 23-man roster also. So there's challenges. You might have a guy that you'd like to put in, and the roster doesn't dictate you allow him to do that. So we'll continue to monitor it, and every game is a new challenge. And you go into it, you put players in that you think you can be successful with in that game.
Hi, Dave. You've
Morning.
coached against a lot of Daryl Sutter teams in the past, so you know what he brings, you know what he gets out of his guys. Calgary's always had a lot of talent, and now they have a coach behind the bench that is going to really bring out the best in them theoretically. Are they a team to really be reckoned with, especially more so now with Daryl Sutter behind them?
Well, it's hard to say. I know Daryl coached against him a long time. He's a veteran coach. He's a veteran coach with a great track record. So, but you still have to go in. Our team has to prepare to do what we have to do. So, it's no different than any other game. There's a challenge every time you go into a game. You got to figure out how to try to win, and I'm sure Daryl's thinking the same thing.
You guys have been pretty good at responding after a loss. I know it's a priority to win every game, but what's been the sort of the backbone of the success behind being able to rebound so quickly?
Well, I don't know if it's about rebound. We want to try to play our best every night. Some nights it doesn't go as well as others, so you just got to get back on the horse. We've talked about it. You don't get too high, don't get too low. You try to manage every game, go into every game, and try to put a game plan in place that we feel like we can win with. And it's no different now. Like the magnitude of games as your schedule winds down, and that's the same as every year. There's games that become really, really important, and this year, just you look at the way the things are set up, and every single game is going to be important. A short schedule, and you're playing the same teams over and over, and those points become, it's a regular season. You're saying, oh, division games are so much more important. Well, every game is a division game, so they're all important. So that's the mindset. You got to stay in that mode all year.
Dave, in hockey, there is an element of fortune. I'm wondering, now that you've had an overnight to digest it, was last night an example where you guys did a lot of things right and you're not happy with the result, but more than pleased with the effort?
I thought we were solid in a lot of areas, but that being said, we didn't win. You got to. We weren't solid enough. We gave up a goal in the third period that we cracked for a minute. We had some opportunities we didn't score. I mean, that's it's too easy just to say, oh, that wasn't our night. But we probably could have done some stuff to make it our night, and we didn't get to that level we needed to. So you don't win. So it's. Sure, we do some things all right, yeah, and we competed hard, but there's more to it than that. You got to find a way to win.